joy in every row. Come on down, we'll show you how what's fresh and green is growing now. At Bob's Market, we've got it all, from garden dreams to greenhouse halls. Catch the buzz, catch the show, where the best of the season grows. Tomatoes ripe, peppers bright, tips for keeping blooms in sight. Let's make your backyard glow. Tools and plants, advice for free. Bob's is where you want to be. At Bob's Market, we've got it all, from garden dreams to greenhouse halls. Catch the buzz, catch the show, where the best of the season grows.
Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Bob's Live, our weekly show right here on the internet. And, well, we're almost weekly. Last week we weren't live because we were having some power issues. As many of you that live here locally know, New Haven was without power. We sort of had power here. Our voltage levels were kind of fluctuating, so we had to switch over to backup generators, and that created some issues. But anyhow, this week, I thought we would head out to the greenhouse to take a look at our seedling production. So previously we've taken a look at cuttings. Now I wanted to take a look at seedlings. And my goal over the course of this spring is to kind of take baby steps through our production. So this video is kind of like a high level, just basic overview, and then we're going to gradually drill down a little bit deeper. So let's jump right in and check out seedling production. Hi, John Morgan here, and today I am standing here in our seed storage floor. So in this room, we store quite a few seeds. We grow about 150 million plants a year, and they all get their start right here. So we have everything in here organized alphabetically, but let's see where the seed goes to once it gets planted and heads out to the greenhouse. Once seedlings get sown, they come out here to the greenhouse where they germinate and then sprout. And then over the next few weeks, they gradually get bigger until we ship them out. So previously we were down in one of our other greenhouses where we grow plants from cuttings. So that's the two main ways that we propagate plants here at Bob's, is either through cuttings or mostly through seedlings. The vast majority of plants that we grow here at Bob's are grown as seedlings that we then sell as a wholesale product to other greenhouses and garden centers. And here we have begonia seedlings that are getting ready to ship out. So these will be heading out early next week. So going from seed to finished product takes just a few weeks for us. And each one of these trays, depending on the tray size, holds between 144 seedlings up to 512 seedlings. And that's a quick rundown of seedling production here at Bob's. Over the course of this spring, we're going to dive a little bit deeper, but this is a quick introduction. And as always, if you want to learn more, head over to bobsmarket.com.
And that was a quick look at our seedling production process. So, it's very mechanized. We're sowing the seeds, taking them out to the greenhouse, growing them for, it depends on the type of seed, but they all have different crop times. It could be as little as 4 weeks up to sometimes 6, 7, 8 weeks. Um, so, yeah, over the course of the spring, we'll kind of look at it a little bit deeper and get into a little bit more of the science behind it. Because the way that we grow seedlings differs from the way that it was done, say, 30 years ago or 40 years ago. The technology has really changed since then to allow for large scale production like we do. And yeah, I think it's going to be really interesting to kind of give you a behind the scenes look and break down the why we do things the way we do. Up next, I thought we would take a look at the weather, which right now we're having a heat wave. Um, it is 21 degrees out right now, which, comparing it with the thermometer over on my wall, that is pretty accurate. The sun was just out for a second, and the real feel right now, the feels like temperature is 32, which, hey, we're right at freezing. This morning, I had a balmy -4 down at my house. But here's the thing. We've got a storm system that's going to be hopefully missing us. We're going to be kind of right on the edge of it this weekend. But we are going to be getting an Arctic blast. So if you think it's cold now, it's going to be getting colder over this weekend. So Saturday looks like it's going to be the coldest day. We're looking at a high of 16. So yeah, it is bloomin' chilly. And then yeah, again, Sunday 21, low of 0. And then finally heading into next week, if you look off toward Friday there on the long-term forecast, we've got 36. So we might actually break freezing by the end of next week. Something I noticed on my way into work this morning, driving up through Henderson, coming into that area, looking out the river, it was a sheet of ice all the way across the river. And something I've rarely seen is where the Kanawha and Ohio River meet, that whole area was frozen. So yeah, that I'm sure it was a thin layer of ice that, fairly easy to break up, but still, to see the entire river right there frozen, that's a lot of ice. And yeah, it is cold out. And with the temperatures being as cold as they are, I imagine that ice is just going to get even thicker. Of course, it remains to be seen. One of the things that we'll have to keep an eye on in the long-term forecast is if we get rain at the end of this. Those of you that have lived in the region for a while, I have lost my mouse. There it is. Those of you that have lived in the region for a while know the typical pattern this time of year is we get a big snow like this, a lot of ice, then we get rain on top of it, the ground's frozen so it runs off into the river, and we get flooding. And hopefully we avoid that. Hopefully it thaws out slow enough and we don't get any large rains or anything like that to cause flooding issues. And also, this past weekend, I uploaded another episode of the Keep Growing podcast. Of course, with the storm rolling in over the weekend, I did it on seed buying. So if you head over to our website, I've got a blog post on it. So you can either read it or listen to it if you like. But yeah, you can check out our podcast. It's the Keep Growing podcast. and it's available on all the major podcast platforms. And, well, that is all that I have for this week's episode. Next week, I think we're going to head out into the greenhouse and talk a little bit more about seedling plugs and maybe dive just a little bit deeper. So, well, until next time, keep growing.
At Bob's Market, we've got it all, from garden dreams to greenhouse hauls. Catch the buzz, catch the show, where the best of the season grows.